polymetallic nodule, which means polymetallic nodule has been estimated to be there. And in that polymetallic nodule are having almost 105 million metric ton of manganese, copper, cobalt, nickel, and all those things. So these metals need to be exploited. In addition to that, we have cobalt rust, we have metal sulfides along the hydrothermal ridges. There are also a lot of work going on. You know, when we are talking about wind energy, every windmill requires magnet, and one magnet requires almost 300 kg of neodymium. In addition to that, different kinds of rare earths are required. Now, where the rare earth reserve is there in the land, it means there is nowhere it is there. Actually, people are talking to go on the asteroid and all those areas to bring the mineral, whereas we are sitting nearby huge resources there. So I think again the ocean is very, very important to have this type of mineral and this type of critical metals from the ocean. Actually, till now people have forgotten about the dissolved metals. Huge amount of dissolved metals is there in the ocean, much higher compared to the land reserve if you talk globally. For example, if you talk about nickel, almost 9 billion metric ton of nickel is there in the dissolved form, which means ready to be exploited. Similarly, if you talk about copper, almost 1 billion ton. If you talk about vanadium, it is almost 2 billion ton. And particularly lithium, it is 231 billion ton sitting there. You know, everybody is crying for lithium because of lithium-ion battery. Everywhere lithium-ion battery is required. In your mobile it is very much required. In the car it is very much required. Huge reserve is there. I think we need to develop the technology to exploit those things, and I think there I think our oceanographer has to put some effort so that I think our dependence should not become very much again on the different countries, like we are dependent very much for the petroleum. You see, when this energy was coming, petroleum energy was coming, we were very much dependent on other countries. Our huge reserve was going to those countries, foreign reserves. So now, when we are going to shift from the fossil fuel energy to the renewable energy, these metals will be very much required. And I think there again we should not depend heavily on the others, whereas we have nearby the huge reserve will be sitting there. Similarly, when we are talking about fishery in the ocean, I think non-living resources are not the only way. Of course, there are different resources of energy like gas hydrate sitting in our economic zone, but again that will be a little problematic in terms of greenhouse gases, so we should not talk about that. But then we have living resources when we are talking about, I think, marine fishery. Actually, it is a very great potential for food and different protein and source of protein and all those things. Now, if you see last few years, the total marine fishery is going down. Actually, few years back, the total catch or landing from the marine through the marine fishery was almost 4 million tons, whereas now it has become 3.5 million tons, and slowly it is going down. Actually, now there is people crack a joke that fishes in the sea are dying because of their old age. So this means we are not able to catch those fishes, and we don't have technology to catch those fishes. So now government through the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, they are putting a lot of effort. They are putting a lot of I think 20,000 crore of rupees to increase the productivity of the fishery sector, because fishery sector is supposed to be blue growing sector. And now a lot of emphasis is there to increase actually the total fishery production, which is right now 14 to 15 million ton, to make it 23 million ton. I think also they are trying to increase the export, because India is almost capturing the 8% of the total production of the fishes. So I think again there you have to we as a oceanographer put a lot of effort. Because you see, we are wasting a lot of energy and all to collect and catch the fishes. I think their oceanographer can put a lot of emphasis to give a prediction, means the short-term prediction, long-term prediction, where the fishes will be available depending on all the physical parameters, biological parameters. And there I think we can make a very different, means we can make a gain to increase the productivity. So, similarly, actually there are many fields where a lot of emphasis oceanographer can put. to enhance our blue economy, because when we are talking about blue economy, these are the factors which will be contributing. So right now, if you see the total contribution of blue economy to the Indian GDP is almost 4%. And when we are talking about 5 trillion economy of the India, I think there it has to go to the double digit, this economy, means contribution of blue economy. So when government has started this the deep ocean mission in terms of the living and non-living resources, I think there lot of impact or lot of emphasis is there on exploiting the ocean, but of course in sustainable manner. And another very important aspect I think I was missing is this: the ocean is a resource for the many of the drugs which is coming from the ocean. So like you have huge, very different kind of molecules, very metabolites available in the ocean, which are becoming a very important, or serving as a very important source of antibiotics and all those things. So there also I think all the biology people can start thinking in that direction to extract the drug from the sea. Of course, that takes time, so you have to, one can also work in the nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals and all those things to exploit the ocean. So these are the area I think we have to discuss in greater detail to enhance our contribution to the blue economy. So means I will not take much time here, and only thing, last thing I would like to say that of course in terms of this climate change, as you know, this sea surface temperature is increasing, CO2 increasing. I think it is going to change the entire ocean ecosystem, ocean biology, ocean productivity is decreasing, and in that scenario, when productivity is decreasing, when the oxygen content is decreasing, it will impact the fishery, and also there also we have to put a lot of emphasis to understand it well and how to mitigate that. And ocean also can, again, a bit heavier in terms of removing the CO2 sequestration and all those things. So there also a lot of work can be done through our oceanographer can think of. So hope this student meeting will be very, a lot of deliberation, great deliberation will be there, and we will be able to solve some of the problems, or at least we will be able to discuss and the way forward some of the problems which we are facing, countries facing, world is facing. Thank you very much. Wish you all a very great meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance and motivation. Your words have highlighted the utmost importance of oceanographic research in these times.
Now let me introduce you to our chief guest, Dr. Thamman Miller. Dr. Thamman, the Director of Earth System Science Organization, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Goa, began his research career from our institute, the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, as a doctorate student in Geological Oceanography Division. After completing his PhD, he joined University of Kannur as an assistant professor. Subsequently, he joined NIO as a scientist before moving to NCPOR. A marine sedimentologist and paleoclimatologist by training, he is now a world-renowned expert on cryosphere research. He established the first and the only ISO research facility of our country at NCPOR, Goa, and was appointed the director of NCPOR in the year 2022. He has immensely contributed in the fields of cryosphere, paleoclimatology, glaciology, and polar biogeochemistry. For his excellent contributions, Dr. Thamman has been awarded the prestigious DAR and JSPS fellowships. He has been honored with several prestigious awards, including Young Sedimentologist Award, ISCA Young Scientist Award, Staff Young Scientist Award, Certificate of Merit for Outstanding Contribution by Ministry of Earth Sciences India, and the National Geoscience Award, to name a few. Dr. Thamman was also elected the Fellow of National Academy of Sciences. He is a member of several international committees, including Executive Council Panel on Polar and High Mountain Observation, Research and Services, World Meteorological Organization, Scientific Steering Group, Cryosphere and Climate Project of World Climate Research Program, He is leading several multi-country collaborative projects such as sea ice and westerly winds during the Holocene in the coastal Antarctica, also known as SIVA, and mass balance dynamics and climate of central Drowning Maud land coast, East Antarctica, also known as Maldives. Dr. Thamban has guided 11 PhD students and another 6 students are pursuing doctorate studies under his guidance. He has published close to 125 peer-reviewed papers that have received more than 4,000 citations. We have here excellent personality to inspire the budding oceanographers. Now, I request our chief guest, Dr. Thamban, to address the gathering and enlighten us.
Thank you for that very generous introduction. I think it's been a very long time. I don't feel that was really required because I really belonged here always. I felt I never left. Again, dear Dr. Sunil Singh, the Director of National Institute of Oceanography, also happens to be an all-time friend. Again, friends made in PhD time. Some of my seniors and mentors in the audience, some of my peer friends and very good old friends from NIO times, and also some of the young oceanographers from across the country who are here to discuss and understand the ocean the better way than what we all understand now. First of all, let me congratulate the organizers for planning this first of its kind of a meeting of all bringing together all young researchers who could be the future of oceanography in the country, and also enabled a lot of young researchers to meet, greet, as well as finally discuss and probably create a network. So that network is what going to stand strong for in coming years. Many thanks to Director NIO again and the organizers for inviting me, like people like Rajiv Saraswat and all, trying to get me into this particular meeting. But exactly this month, I completed 13 years after landing in NIO. So it's 3 decades of oceanographic research for me, where I came here as actually as a naive, very exuberant at the same time as a young CSIR research fellow. It's a place where I learned most of my practical oceanographic knowledge, which helped me to go beyond the shores of India to places like Antarctic, Arctic, Southern Oceans, and including climbing the mountains in Himalaya. So all this actually had the basic foundation was here in this institute. So therefore, it's been quite a nostalgic homecoming for me to this particular place, where I was directly or indirectly connected throughout these last 30 years, although out of which actually the more than 20 years I spent in across the river in Vasco da Gama. Well, I made new friends like Commodore Salim Iyer, and all actually has been involving with some of our activities over there. So many of the NIO staff really happens to be my good old friends. Some of them happens to be some of the best friends I've ever made in my entire life. So that's what makes this kind of meetings important. This is where actually we meet people who could be your best friends in coming years, and who could also stand with you in times of need in future. So as I stand in front of you as a head of another unique institution which works in the fringes of oceanography along with the other areas. In fact, all the land, ocean and ice, all this, the interface of that. So I feel deeply connected with many of you sitting here, because I can place myself at your place and think, okay, how it could be, At that time, you never had an idea where you would be in future. Most of us have never that idea. So don't be misguided by your feelings or fears that actually probably you won't be able to reach to those heights that some of you people you must be thinking that you wanted. Never fear. That's the most important thing actually in researchers carry. And oceanography, of course, as you are aware, is a science of exploration, discovery and understanding. Since in fact Dr. Sunil Singh has already clearly given a kind of a roadmap actually what is that actually what we could do in future, I'm not getting dwelling into that area. I rather like to actually just point out some of the things which I felt personally connected. The best part of an oceanographer's life, most of us who those have been oceans would say that, his or her opportunity to be in the vastness of this ocean, getting lost in this vastness, to experience the things which are unknown to you till then, which is a void of self-discovery by itself. That's what made us what we are today. And my own extensive experience in undertaking many cruises, starting from 1993 when I first landed. In fact, I was there at that time with Dr. Kamesh Raj. I was just with absolutely no idea about our ocean at that time. So we all learn through time. And from there, actually, starting from Bay of Bengal to Arabian Sea, Central Indian Ocean Basin, Southern Ocean, Antarctic, Arctic, and almost all across the world, so I have been able to have some kind of expedition or other, which proved me beyond doubt that such expeditions are real mini universities. That's where you really learn things which you would never learn from the four walls of the laboratory or your, in your comfort zones of your home. So therefore, it's not a joke, therefore never trust advice of someone who has never been to a stormy ocean, in a remote place, getting lost without any facilities, and coming back happy. So I would say that actually you should take, should look forward to those people who are real experienced, because those are the people who will be able to tell you when you plan something. Will you be okay? Although they may not discourage you, but still they will be able to tell you whether it is going to be the right way in a long stretch of time. So, in coming days, of course, you will learn many things as you grow as an oceanographer. You will improve your skills. You open up your mind. Therefore, I don't want to advise you because all of us remain a student throughout our entire life. However, there are a few things with experience we learn or we would we feel actually we should inform you because that's our job partly. So what quickly comes to my mind are, there are many of course, but I would not want to bore this early morning actually on a holiday. So I would rather just stick to a few things which is I feel extremely important for an oceanographer's career. Number one, resilience in the face of challenges. Oceanography is a highly field-oriented, sample-oriented, data-oriented, science. There will be many things will go wrong when you are on a remote ocean. Many things you planned in your four walls of the laboratory will not work out. There will be non-technical challenges. There will be non-technical challenges, but you will not be able to show it in the ocean because you need to be back in the land. And there will be many things, operational things, which will decide your future. Because of operations, challenges and logistic constraints typically decide the level of oceanographic research you can carry out. That's where experience makes a difference. Experience tell you, if you have to be prepared to go to oceans, you have to be doubly prepared. Like when we say to Antarctica, we will make it 3 times because there is never a chance of coming back. So that's what you will learn in coming years. That experience, joining the seniors, joining your mentors, who will tell you. At that time you may feel, okay, why that's okay, we can take care, but you will realize only after some years why that advice is important. So therefore, be ready to embrace setbacks in oceanography. So it's okay to sometimes fail. Number 2, most important I feel actually is collaboration. Collaboration is the key in oceanography because ocean is immensely complex and vast. No one person can or no one team can actually really reach to the comprehend it at all. Therefore, collaboration is the kind of bedrock of the oceanographic research. Work together, share knowledge, help each other, and build a team. That team makes you succeed. Number 3, which is slightly different from the science, inspire the next generation. The work has the power to really inspire the next generation of oceanographers. Therefore, try to be a kind of a role model in whatever you do. share your passion for research and you share your passion for oceans with a new generation of students coming up. Because your passion can really spark a lifelong interest in ocean of some others. That's what when I realized when I went as actually a teacher, as an assistant professor actually in the university. Because they finally get inspired and they start doing research. So be a good role model. There are also a few other things which is not actually really as an oceanography, but actually my personal experience that you may find it useful in your career. Firstly, be ready for accepting change and reinventing yourself. Don't stick to one particular point you thought that you will start doing and you will end up in your life with that. As they say, the only constant thing in this world is the word constant. Nothing else is constant. Everything is keep changing. So be ready to face, reinvent yourself. And I learned this quite a very hard way when I shifted from NIO to NCPR. When NCPR is a very fundamental, rudimentary stage, where absolutely not even a beaker was available actually in the reward. So, at NIO I was basically very comfortably placed, and I was dealing with the ocean sediments, which I did my PhD, I did my postdoc, I was very comfortable. Whereas at NCPR when I landed, I was told actually my job is to set up a laboratory to work on ice and start working on Antarctic ice, which absolutely I had no idea till then. So it was not just a material change, it was it's a shifting paradigms. Because in ice we discuss about the interaction with the atmosphere, not the ocean sediment, we discuss the interactions with oceans. So the processes change, your approach changes, your way of dealing with things changes, everything changes. So suddenly I was actually thrown out of my comfort zone. That's made me probably what I am now. So now after 2 decades of that big shift, I feel it was the most creative thing I ever did in my life. It gave me unique opportunity as well as it also gave me a lot of productivity in science. And therefore, at least some of you want to say that be bold, never get worried or get scared. Your age is the only age actually where you can really take that bold decisions. Once you cross certain age, once you get married, once you have children, you're not going to be taking any of these decisions. Your decision can be taken only when you are young. Secondly, which is not again related to oceanography, but I just want to stress here, take care of your health, both physical and mental health. Because when we are young, we just don't care about it. And as the years passes, then we don't, we forgot that we had a routine, we just don't follow routines and we don't have that timely things and all. And afterwards, sometimes your body starts responding to it. So just take up simple things and that helps your health. Maybe just run a marathon for that matter, which I did at the age of 51. In fact, I never dared I could do that before. So the fitness also helps, the physical fitness also helps you for the mental health. So just as an youngsters, I feel actually you should really take care of that. Finally, PhD is like a marathon, it's never like a sprint. So don't rush, just don't rush, be steady but very systematic. The modern research is all about being very systematic. So don't get carried away with these romantic notions actually which you see in sometimes movies and as you become as a very young researcher. And also sometimes people around there to talk big things when you really have the self-doubt whether I will be able to reach that. But remember, all of them learned it in a very hard way, they came up to the top. So, many times you can get frustrated when that's something which I really want to warn you. PhD is all about those frustrations and frustrations and ultimately never ever quit. That's the most important factor. And before closing actually I also just want to have a small story. And in fact the story I heard from these very institutions actually when we joined actually as a young scientist recruited in 2002. There was this professional management expert who gave us this, training, and he gave this story actually, and I just felt very motivated with that story, and the story remained with me forever. It goes as follows. Once upon a time, there was a big, very famous and wise man, an old man, who used to always go to the seashore in the early morning to get inspiration as well as to start writing. That day when I walk all around, she found that there are plenty of starfish all around, being, distributed. And then, what more interesting was suddenly he saw that this very up in the, far away, he noticed that this very young girl picking something and throwing it into the ocean. So with curiosity, so this, a wise man, went to the girl actually and asked, "Dear, what are you doing?" So she said, "Can't you see? I'm just throwing the starfish to the ocean. Till now it was a high tide, and the tide is getting down, and these starfish is going to be getting stuck on the beach, and they may die soon." The old man felt laughing. He said, "Well, you can throw few of them, but you can't make a difference to the entire. There is thousands and thousands, millions of starfish all around." So the little girl did not say anything. So she just went down, picked up yet another starfish and threw it into the ocean as far as she can. Then she just smiled and said, "See, I made a difference to that one." So for that one, it was the difference between life and death. So I feel very deeply connected to this moral of the story, because it says that for everyone, however small they are, however small thing they can do, can make a difference. You might not be able to change the entire world. You may not be able to do everything. That big mountain is in front of you, what you think actually is you are facing. You will not be able to do anything. It may be a very simple thing, as simple as just motivating or helping your colleagues along with you. So that can make an ocean of difference in future. So remember, always whenever things get really bad, try to remember that little girl. Any small efforts you make really matters a lot. Finally, I also just wanted to say that your work has a chance. As a young oceanographer, your work has a chance to shape our understanding of the ocean in future, and by extension the future of our planet, as Dr. Sunil Singh was already pointing out. Each one of you have an opportunity to mark your mark on the world of oceanography. However, like in life, it's a journey that matters, not the destination itself. So don't get worried about the destination, enjoy the journey. That will make you reach where you would like to be. So I wish you all the very best. To the organizers, my thanks to the organizers for organizing this wonderful group of youngsters here. And I would also like to, in my future, actually, I think this should be a, annual affairs or something, so that there are a lot of young researchers who would like to learn something which they have never learned in the universities or the places where they don't have direct contact. Because some of us had this opportunity to work with tall oceanographers of the time at that time, so that we learn very directly from the, words of wisdom. But many oceanographers across the country don't have that access. Everybody can't get anywhere. So it's important that actually that we should have this, continue this. And NCPR, I would also like to say that if you would like to support in the coming years, or maybe like to co-host such kind of events, that would make I feel it's quite an important thing. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. Your encouragement would surely uplift the spirit of Samudra Manthan and its participants. On this note, I request Professor Sunil Kumar Singh, sir, to honor our chief guest with a shawl and a memento to mark our commitment in making Samudra Manthan 2023 a resounding success. It would signify the beginning of a journey filled with inspiration, learning, and networking.